It's fine. No one will ever see it. Welcome to a very dirty garage full of incomplete projects. I probably should have done a better job at starting this stuff, but we're going to walk through some of this stuff, which is the rear spoiler. There's some parts hanging out over there. And then we'll talk about what's going on there, which if you follow the build thread, you probably know a little bit about. All right, let's get into it. One of the many projects I've been working on this winter includes the rear aero on the car. So here I have the spoiler that we debuted the car with. It was an attempt at a design. The idea with this bend here is it would kick up to a more ideal angle for prepared class. But if you look, you can start to see that it is smaller, at least in width, than the new spoiler. So the idea behind the new spoiler is it's going to maximize the width allowed for the rules. We've got these little end plates here, which I'll show you how those attach in just a minute. And overall, it should make for a better aero package. So let's take a look at what we've got. One thing that complicates the aero on this car, at least from a personal level, is the fact that I absolutely love the factory spoilers on this car. I think these cars look weird without a factory spoiler on it. I'm probably compromising a little bit using the factory spoiler, but I really like how it looks. So what I've done is the old spoiler and the new one attach here on the main spoiler with some riv nuts that I have anchored in to the factory spoiler. These guys here. And I've reinforced those. And then the addition is now on these end caps, and it might be a little hard to see, but I've got some holes drilled here. And my new end caps are going to rivet onto these, effectively making this a three-piece spoiler and allowing the deck lid to come off. So let me pull the end caps, pull the main spoiler off the car, and we'll see how all this assembles together. So here are the spoiler parts off the car. You can see we've got this guy. Got our main section here in the middle. See, I've got the nutserts on the main factory spoiler. That's the main attachment point for my prepared spoiler. And then I've got these end plates, and they're a little chewed up right now from fitting things, but they've got some holes in them where the end plates or the end plate extensions are going to attach. So I'm going to sand these real fast, get the other bits riveted to them so you can kind of see what everything looks like, and then we'll get some paint on it. So I went and scuffed everything with 400 and then a red Scotch-Brite for areas I couldn't get to. I'm not a body person, so please forgive, but I figured since I'm painting the new spoiler, I might as well get a fresh coat of paint on the old spoiler. So all sanded down, and now here are those end plates I was talking about. They're upside down, so let me spin them around. So this is how they look on the back of the car. Now obviously the end plate is just in primer, needs to be painted, but they're riveted on. So from the front, they look like this. And so that's going to meet up perfectly, especially where I've got that flange there. That's going to meet up perfectly with the new spoiler hanging out over there. I was originally going to both rivet and use panel bond on these things, but they're really on there. I don't see the need to do it. If they come flying off because I'm going so fast, then I'll fix it. But for now, I think we're going to clean these up and get a coat of paint on them. Speaking of paint, I kind of screwed up. I don't know if you see these little lumps and bumps in there, but they're kind of ugly. So I screwed up. I originally primed this, and I was trying to be a good painter body man. So after I primed it, I sanded it. It looked great. So then I took wax and grease remover and wiped it down, and it just smeared the rattle can primer everywhere. So kind of hosed myself. I tried to sand it. I think that's why those little bumps are there. They're like gummed up paint. So at this point, I'm just waiting for this to cure. I'm going to give this one more sand, and then I'll spray it again the other side, which I didn't do that sanding on actually turned out a whole lot better. Excuse the fingerprints, but that turned out a whole lot better. So I'll just redo this other side before it gets on the car. All right, this is why I have the utmost respect for people who do body work. I had a couple pieces of dirt in this blade that you saw earlier, and yeah, I tried to sand that dirt out and things got a little bit away from me. So the top is really, really nice. This is the side that you'll see. The factory spoiler sits in front of this. So down here, it's still kind of shitty. It's fine. No one will ever see it. The part people will see looks good. And really, as long as the part people see looks okay, it's pretty much 20/20 good. All right. It is the next day. And everything has a coat of paint on it. Technically, I think I'm supposed to wait 7 days before putting all this stuff together, but yeah, I'm not going to do that. Let's see what this looks like. So that's what it's going to look like when it's on the trailer, which is a little weird with these end extensions on here, but it all makes sense in a couple minutes. I went ahead and got the OEM spoiler, which, fun fact, it's one of the few original pieces left of this car. Got that on the deck lid. The end caps are on. So we'll mount the deck lid and then we'll get our new super prepared spoiler in place. So here is our finished product. That is the new spoiler on there. Just wipe some of it down. So excuse me if you see some streaks, we'll wash the whole car later. But here's where the end plate and the spoiler meet. So there's a split right here that lets this whole deck lid come off. You can see we're riveted and supported on the back, bolted in across the back, and the angle is pretty much right where I want it. So yeah, I'm pretty psyched about this. The last one looked good, but this one looks really good. So let's talk about these things. These incredible carbon fiber T-tops were made by my friend Jay Parsons. So a little backstory on the whole T-top thing. When I built this car, I threw out the factory T-tops. I said, I'm not going to need them. I'm not going to use the attachment. It's going to be a nice weather car only for racing. And if I get wet, I get wet. Who cares? So then I started to think about what it was really going to take to compete at the really pointy end with this car. And I was spending all of this time designing rear aero and front aero and getting all of that sorted out. But I was leaving a gaping hole in the roof of this car. So my original plan was to use tinted Lexan and kind of put it in place. I thought that would look kind of cool, and I still think it could. But I don't have all the tools to form Lexan and do all that stuff. So I tried, and I basically ruined a really expensive piece of tinted polycarbonate. I kind of shelved the idea for a bit, and I thought, actually, after watching a Street Bandito video, which if you don't watch, they're a way bigger YouTube channel that is actually only about 15 minutes from here. But after watching them, they did a carbon cap on a roof for 240Z, and I thought to myself, well, if I go pick up another set of OEM T-tops, I can do that. I mean, I've done fiberglass work on this car. I can lay some carbon fiber over top. It'll look okay.
Dad, can you fix this?
Sure, buddy.
And it'll work. So I reached out to my friend Jay. I'll put some pictures of his car in. He's got a really awesome deep-prepared Miata that he's done a carbon fiber dash for. And right after they painted the car, probably I think it was like a week or two before Nationals, somebody backed in their Miata and smashed the door. So Jay took that as an opportunity right before Nationals to make a carbon fiber door for the Miata. And it was cool. It's the first one I've ever seen. People were absolutely in love with it. So knowing that he had done the work, I reached out to Jay and I said, Jay, will you teach me everything I need to know to make carbon fiber? And he said, no, but I'll just make them for you because I like to do that sort of stuff. So Jay did me an incredible favor. He did not charge me nearly enough money for these. I think he's got, you can tell they're not bolted down yet. I think he's got 80 hours into these T-tops. The factory T-tops were 17, almost 18 pounds. These are just a hair over 2 pounds. So, I mean, it's a little dusty, it's a little dirty right now because it's been in my garage, but these are absolutely incredible. I'm gonna go ahead and, I've never done this before. So, I'm doing this before I actually do the work, or saying this before I do the work, but I'm gonna go put a link, let's try this corner. Put a link in this corner where you can check out all the videos Jay has of making these. If you've never made carbon fiber before, or if you have, you're going to learn something from his videos because they're absolutely incredible. One thing I do want to talk about is how I'm going to mount these. So let me move this T-top out of the way and grab the camera. We'll take a look at how we're going to mount these up. So you can see here my original plan to mount the T-tops up. This was back when I was doing the Lexan. So I had these brackets put in for Zeus connectors, and I was just going to go right through the top. But after looking at the incredible work that Jay did, and I know I keep saying that, but really these absolutely blow my mind. After looking at the incredible work he did, there was no way I was going to cut some holes in this. So all of these tabs are going to come off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get some aluminum square, well, it's not tubing, we're just going to get some square aluminum. We're going to bend it to the shape of this rain rail here. We're going to drill some holes through the metal, thread that aluminum, and bond it to the back of this. But you'll see all of that hopefully in an upcoming video because I still have to order materials for this. So really psyched, finally finished up this rear spoiler. It's taken a good few weeks worth of work, couple trips to Larry over at 20 Square Fab for his help, so really appreciate it, but really excited. It's totally legal. It's, I say totally legal. People are welcome to protest. That's what this is about. But it is right to the edge of where it needs to be. When you view from above, it is absolutely within the confines of the car. The angle's close to what I want. I would actually prefer a little steeper angle, but I don't have any... Do you guys mind? Thank you. The angle's close to what I want. I would actually like it standing up a little bit more. I did space it out underneath to try to help with that, but we'll worry about it. Let's test it. We'll see. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule for this, so any angle I set is pure speculation, aside from the help that I've gotten over in the grassroots forum. But we're close. We're within probably about 5 degrees of what they recommended over there. So we'll give it a shot, see what happens. So that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully next time we're going to be mounting up these incredible T-tops. We'll get these guys out of here. And we'll keep making progress, getting ready for the 2021 race season. Anyway, thanks again. Catch you next time.
Go to bed. Now!